said, number one, we don't want a mom in the room, and so, don't be mothering. We'd rather you be there to help us get the music going and all that stuff. But one of the things that I said is, I want you to make me look like a rock star. And she did. She rather than take control of the situation, she was my advocate and would be whispering in my ear, hey, why don't you go do such and such, or hey, why don't you grab such and such. And so I was able to look like I had everything under control and was taking care of everything, and it was nice.
The first one we didn't have a doula, and we're in the hospital, and the nurse wouldn't come into our room for hours at a time. And my wife is laying there in pain, and I think she's suffering, and I don't know what to do, and I'm scared. Is the baby about to fall out, and nobody's going to be here? And is this right? Is this what's supposed to be going on? Is this where we're supposed to be at in labor? Is she supposed to be this? I don't know. It's not right. I can't fix it. You hit the little call button on the bed, and the nurses don't come, and they'll come over the speaker, and it's okay, And I'd like to go to the bathroom, and I haven't been able to leave the room in 4 hours, and I'm exhausted, but I can't tell her I'm exhausted. Look at her, I can't say, God, I need a break, honey, time out. But, and you can't do that, and I can't, I need to be there for her, and I need to be supportive of her, and I need to be strong for her, and she needs to look up at me and not see panic. She's got to do this. She knows she's got to do this, but, I need to comfort her as best I can. If I look scared to death, and I can't do that. With the doula there, you've got somebody who can go, hey, go grab you some water, take a break, walk the hall, lay down, take a nap for 10 minutes, and you can get out of the room, catch your breath. You're not abandoned. You don't feel like you're abandoning your spouse. You just get a second to go take care of yourself. Catch your breath, throw down a Coke and some crackers, and get back to the room, and you're there. And then when you've got somebody who's been to a bazillion births, and she's not freaking out. So if she's not freaking out, I don't have to freak out, so I don't look freaked out to my wife. And then in turn, my wife is not worried about why I'm freaked out, and she can work on having a baby. And like you said, where the doula will be like, hey, try this. Go put your hands on her back. Or the doula can say to the mom, hey, let's, flip you over and you can labor like this. Or try squatting. Try getting on your hands and knees. Or she can run interference for the nurses when the nurses come in there trying to bully you into something. Instead of you having to get into it with the nurse or mom having to deal with the nurse, doula can run over there and bulldog the nurse out of the room. And when the doctor comes in or the nurse comes in or somebody comes in and says, hey, I think, the whole sky's going to fall if you don't let me cut this baby out right now, the doula may say, hey, have you thought of this? Ask them this. That's not true. This is true. He may be right. You've got another perspective. You've got an experienced hand in there who doesn't work for the hospital, who doesn't work for the doctor, but knows far more about birth, has been around far more of these than you. And it just takes so much pressure off of you to know everything and do everything when you couldn't possibly. And it frees you up to do the things that you want to be there to do. Be there for your wife. Be supportive for your wife. Tend to her without having to worry about, is this what's supposed to be happening? Do I need to be fighting with the doctors? Can I please just go pee? It's the two scenarios are completely different. But it takes, and like you said at the beginning, they can play different roles. They can be mothering. They can get your mom out of the room if you really don't want your mom there, but don't want to tell mom I don't want you here. They can go get mom and go, hey mom, why don't you go get us some sandwich, and run mom out of the room. I mean, they can be helpful in a million different ways you don't even think of. They generally bring a bag full of stuff, something to roll on their back, and towels they've got a bag of tricks that's absolutely amazing. And that's from the experience and from doing it, from being around it. So, the biggest benefit is simply taking all of that off of you to try to know what's going on. Is this right? Is this where we're supposed to be? Is this progressing right? Is what he's telling me true? Instead of being bombarded from so many angles on stuff you couldn't possibly know, you're free just to sit there and hold your wife's hand.
Now,